Back in 2021, we were all pretty hyped for an upcoming PSVR2 launch game called Engram. Developer Maze Theory called it a narrative-heavy adventure where we'd explore the memories of other characters. It sounded new, different, exciting. But no one's heard a peep about Engram since 2021, and by all reports the game's been put on hold, well, at least for the time being. So if you've been wondering what Maze Theory's been working on instead, well, today we have an answer. A short little puzzle adventure called The Infinite Inside. Okay, puzzle adventure might be pushing the definition of the genre a bit. There are definitely puzzles here, but the adventure part of it is sorely lacking. So let's start at the beginning and you'll see what I mean. You're dropped into a den, and if you've seen the trailer for the game, this is where the mixed reality would be used on other headsets. A Jenga-like tower rises up from the floor, and by spinning it, you'll find hidden drawers and cabinets, revealing pieces of a puzzle. Sometimes these are structures that can be placed within the tower, and sometimes they're simply keys that need to be assembled to push the level forward. Soon enough though, you'll be venturing into the Jenga tower itself to find even more puzzle pieces. There are a lot of ways that Maze Theory could have made the locomotion in the Infinite Inside really fun. Imagine shrinking down in real time to enter the tower. Imagine the sense of scale that would elicit in VR. Imagine being able to walk up walls and ceilings in real time, and how that would throw your perspective for a loop as the world moves around you. You can stop imagining, because what they chose to do instead is fade to black, and then fade back inside the tower. Yay. And if that wasn't plain Jane enough, the locomotion from here on out is even more disappointing. You stand in one place and reach your hand out to activate a nearby node, and then close your hand with the grip to teleport. I want to say that I thought this was actually kind of cool for about 12 seconds. That's as long as it took me to wonder why I couldn't circumvent some nodes and just skip to others, and to make matters worse, it doesn't always work. Sometimes you're left waving your hand around furiously trying to activate a node. This makes simply moving around the world not fun. And with the only turn options being in real life or click turning, which throws you off center constantly, forcing you to recalibrate every few minutes. Needless to say, I wasn't a fan of the movement options here at all. I kept assuming there was a method to the madness, that in the later levels everything would make sense and I'd understand why the game works in this way. But I rolled credits after about 2.5 hours and I still don't see a reason why full locomotion wasn't used. The sloppy controls extend to the simple action of turning the tower as well. Sometimes you grab it, sometimes you don't. It all just feels so unpolished. The puzzles are the same too. Every so often you'll have to move stuff around from outside the tower to make certain areas traversable for when you head back in. This was kind of the only interesting part of the Infinite Inside. Unfortunately, 90% of what you're doing is just wandering around looking for puzzle pieces and then fitting them together. By the end of Chapter 2, I was in shock that this was all there was to the game, and very little changes. I got so bored by all of this at one point that I just laid down on my bed so at least I'd be comfortable. The Infinite Inside looks okay in the headset, sporting some fairly sharp environments. But the Jenga block walls and the floors, they're all so bland and repetitive it doesn't even matter. Every so often you'll see an animated character doing something, or items scattered around that really make you wonder if Maze Theory is trying to deliver some kind of narrative. And the conclusion I came to is that I don't really care either way. And the constant buzzing from the sense controllers, even when they're by your side, telling you that another teleportation node is available, well, that might drive you insane. Now listen, I know there's a place for abstract puzzle games in VR. I mean, I kind of love the idea of being in a surreal world, solving puzzles with the backdrop of a zen-like ambient soundtrack. The Infinite Inside just doesn't follow through with the idea enough, and the result is too tame, too limited, and overall, way too safe. Maybe Engram was too ambitious for the team. Maybe that's why it's still not out. But this just feels shiftless. We've seen this before, and we've seen it done much, much better.